Thank you for watching, guys. Today we're sitting here with Mr. Liam McLaughlin. Did I say your name right?
You did.
No, because this accent sometimes it gets tough, it gets hard for me.
That's all right.
IG. I know that most of you, or some of you, better yet, don't know what that means or what is the job of an IG. So thank you for sitting with us, Mr. Liam.
It's my pleasure.
And please tell the people, what is your job? Why are we paying you for?
Okay, well, the Inspector General is it's an important job in the city of Yonkers. It was something created by the mayor and the city council a little over 20 years ago with the intent of trying to have a body that could be independent from the administration, from the city council, that could conduct investigations into various things throughout the city. Part of what the Inspector General does that many people don't know, we do vendor background checks for all of the vendors for the city and the Board of Education. We can conduct investigations into employee misconduct and things of that nature, which is often the kind of higher profile thing that the office does. And additionally, conduct investigations into not-for-profits, and not necessarily meaning to be investigations, but when not-for-profits are receiving grant monies from the city of Yonkers, we'll look into the not-for-profits and make sure that they are using the funds for the purposes that they requested it, so that the money is properly used, according to what the grant applications were. Additionally, now something that has come to fruition recently is the City Council in the last budget is requesting for the Inspector General's office to do internal control investigations of various city departments. So there's been new money added to the budget, and I was speaking to the City Council in my confirmation or prior to my confirmation hearings, and we're going to now begin that process. It's something that hasn't happened yet, but we've got vendors on board to help us do internal control audits of various city departments. I'm going to meet with the council and have them tell me which departments they'd like to see the audits done in, and we'll go from there.
Now, this is truly independent from the administration.
Correct.
What guarantees? Because some people outside is going to say,
Nothing's
he's appointed by the mayor. There is no independent here. This is a man who's appointed by the mayor, so he's going to be inclined to be in favor of, when I say mayor, I'm talking about the administration,
Sure.
not the mayor personally.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell us, what kind of guarantees do we have that this is truly independent?
Well, I mean, obviously there's no guarantees. When the legislation was created years ago, what the council sought to do was to create a term for the Inspector General that could last beyond the term of the mayor. So the term of the Inspector General lasts for 5 years. So it's meant to overlap administrations so that it could bypass the term that a mayor appoints the Inspector General. So that was the mechanism that was built into the legislation. And the purpose, so when I spoke to the mayor and he asked me if I would consider it, we talked about wanting to really do the job, and there's times that the job can make you very unpopular. If you have to handle employee misconduct or union issues and things of that nature, there's certain people that would really criticize you. But what the mayor said to me, he said, Liam, I want to make sure that we look at things. He goes, and if there's things within my administration that we can streamline and we can do better, or that are being done wrong, he goes, I need to know about it. I want to know about it. So this mayor gave me a very clear directive that he wanted me to go in and wanted to investigate things as necessary and as have been brought to me, or as we find or uncover, because he wanted to make sure that things are being done properly. He wants to streamline the government and find efficiencies to save taxpayer dollars.
Mr. Liam, we need to speak. People are telling me that they really cannot hear me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll speak up.
No, yeah, so we need to speak a little higher, a little louder. Now, when you talk about terms, your term starts today and ends 5 years from now, or it goes in conjunction with the prior?
My term, I will continue the unexpired term of Brendan McGrath. So again, in the legislation, it was very clearly laid out that the term of the Inspector General exists independent of who's there. So when you replace someone who is vacated, you assume the rest of their term.
Which is?
Which is, for me, the term will expire in December of 2023.
So basically about 3 years?
It's just under 4 years. Yeah.
Just under 4 years. That is going to put you right on the spot for the next.
For the next mayor.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is what people are saying. Okay, and I'm not here to ask questions that I'm looking for my own personal answers.
Sure.
This is questions that are asked, and I'm presenting to you. Mm-hmm. People are saying that you're here really to get in line, in track, to become the next mayor of Yonkers.
To run for mayor.
Would that be? Is it plausible?
Well, listen, anything is possible. But what I can tell you is, as Inspector General, one of the things that I'm supposed to do is to pull back from the politics. So if I was really looking to run for mayor, this wouldn't be the natural progression, because I'm supposed to stay out of politics, and I will stay out of politics.
But that doesn't disqualify you either.
Well, arguably, if a person was to announce their candidacy for mayor, I would think they would need to step down from the Inspector General's position.
But you're not announcing anything yet.
We
will have that conversation later on.
You know, I don't look. You never say never. No, and I get you asking, but that is really not my plan.
Not at this time.
Yeah, not my plan.
No, Mr. Liam, you're going to be sworn in this afternoon.
Yes.
Okay, but you are already here. And I'm sure that as everyone, then when they join or come into a position, they have a list of things that they're looking at. What are your priorities? Do you have anything you're working on? Without disclosing, of course.
There are things that the office is working on, things that I have, come into that were taking place before me, and that we are investigating. But I can tell you, one of the things that have found very exciting and I'm looking forward to is working together with the administration and the city council. I think this idea that the council has brought forth of auditing, doing internal control audits and functional audits of city departments, I think is a great idea. And it wasn't mine. So it was the council that's there now. They have expanded their role. They have brought this into the Inspector General's budget, and I like it. I think it can really help us save money, and that was the purpose of it, to find ways that we can streamline government, that we can make internal controls better, to root out corruption or fraud. So I'm really looking forward to that, and we're moving very quickly and aggressively to get that started as soon as possible.
Well, I've been in a few budget meetings, and I hear that one of the problems is actually the lack of auditing, that they should have an independent audit, to check the fiscal year, what's going on, how the money is spent. Is that what you're going to be doing specifically?
Well, the city does have auditors, and it is an independent audit. So I don't know where that's coming from, but what I'm saying is that this now is like an internal audit function, which many businesses have and is vitally important. Again, given that it's under the purview of my office, it does help make it more independent. It's not under the mayor, it's not under the council, but it's something that I will take direction from the city council on, and I think it will really help in a big way, because they can get into things that maybe an external auditor is not delving into. We can really direct them.
Now, Mr. Liam, something that always puzzled me on the personal level, it's time management. You have a law practice, you have a family life, and now you have a city life. How do you manage all those things and still be able to function?
No, well, I'm not having my law practice.
So that is out for now.
Yeah, no, my law practice, we are setting aside. I'm wrapping up all of my cases, and so the law practice is not happening. This is my full-time job.
So that's out of the equation.
Yes.
At least for now.
Yeah.
Now, how do you engage with the public, or how the public engages with you? Does your job has anything to do with the people of Yonkers? If they have an issue, if they believe there is some type of corruption going on, let's say at DPW, this is just for the sake of examples. DPW or the parking, whatever, do they address you? Do they contact your office or no?
Yes, they can, and I think given the fact that I've been such a public figure and publicly accessible, a lot of people will reach out to me directly. There is also a tip line that is on the city website. It has not yet been updated to where the tips actually come to me, but I'm told that that's happening in the coming days or hours. That anonymous tips, and I think that's a very important part of it, is that people can go online, they can send a tip to the Inspector General, and it doesn't have their name associated with it, so they don't have to fear any retribution or anything like that. So yes, public can speak to me directly when they see me in a supermarket or elsewhere or on the streets of Yonkers. And of course, there's always the tip line on the website, and they can call my office as well.
But that is a preferred way of contacting, because I'm sure that I know that you are easy accessible. I always access you, get you. I always call you, and if it's not 1 5, it's 10 times, but I will get it. Even to say, Rue, shut the hell up, I will call you back. You are easy accessible. But that's not the procedure, correct? You don't want people to be calling you at all times. Don't you prefer that calls are streamlined into a department?
Well, they can always call my office. So the office is probably the best way to reach me, because if I'm not here, I have office staff who will take the calls, take down the information, and I got to tell you, they're fantastic. I've stepped into an office where people really know what they're doing. Very professional, very concerned, really looking out for the city of Yonkers and the taxpayers, and trying to make sure that the taxpayers are getting their bang for their buck out of city government. So it's very refreshing, and a very nice aspect to it is stepping into it. I obviously have a background and a knowledge, but they have a great knowledge, and in a way that I don't have it in regard to city government. So,
now what about process? Let's say I called your office with a tip, or a problem. Normally, when you call certain places, there is a log, there is a call ID. I call, a number is generated. If I don't find a resolution or don't see that a progress, I can call and say, look, this is my call number, I've reported this, what's the status? Does your department have something like that?
It does. Obviously, since many inquiries will come in anonymously, some of that information will not be there in terms of where it came from, meaning the direct name, but it will discuss where it came from. So there are logs, cases will be opened. So look, some of it, the statute directs that the Inspector General basically has to look into inquiries that come from the administration or the City Council, and that has always been interpreted to mean a majority of the City Council. Obviously, you want to take politics out of this office. It's not meant to be a political office, so and that's the purpose for that. Those are the only clear directives of the Inspector General. But obviously, in this office, you want to look into all sorts of other complaints, and the Inspector General does have latitude. If it finds something that they think is, it's election season, it's purely political, there's discretion there within what to look at. In the Inspector General's eyes, and in speaking with I've spoken to previous Inspector Generals, and not just Brendan McGrath, but others beyond him. In fact, I was speaking with Phil Zisman just the other day about this. So you have to weigh what's being looked into or what's being accused, and what the potential purposes are. But yes, there are logs that will take place, investigations will be opened, and then ultimately there'll be an explanation of why it was closed, if it was closed, or if it goes beyond that, we then obviously continue the investigation.
Well, Mr. Liam, you know that Yonkers Voice, we interviewed you when you were running. We don't endorse or oppose any candidate. Mm-hmm. We are here to inform the people, to let the people know who is who, where they stand, what they want, and what the job is. So feel free to contact us. If you ever need your message out there, we have a huge follower. Okay. If you ever need your message out there for the people of Yonkers to know about a particular issue,
well, thank you.
Contact us.
Absolutely, I sure will.
Now, sir, is there anything that I should have asked and I forgot to ask you, but maybe you want to tell the people of Yonkers?
I don't think so. I mean, what I'd like to tell the people of Yonkers is I'm excited about this next chapter as it relates to me in the city. I think we're going to be able to do some really good things. I'm looking forward to working with the City Council and the administration to find efficiencies in city government and see how we can help make government better and hopefully a little less expensive.
Sworn-in ceremonies today at 3:30, correct?
Yes.
So we will be there to watch it and broadcast it. So we wish you the best, and
you.
Hopefully we will be in contact for another interview in a few months for what I called "How Am I Doing" type of interview.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you, sir.
Rui, thank you.
Thank you.